Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Is it not absolutely one of the most beautiful Sundays ever?
Yes.
Oh my God. We were walking around the property this morning, and I could literally just feel the energy and feel the sunshine and feel the beauty of the possibility that maybe, just maybe, in the next couple of weeks, things are going to start cooling off just a bit. And there's a part of me that's apprehensive about it. It's like, no, I don't want it to get cold again. Right. And then there's a part of me that absolutely loves. You haven't been to the beach yet, Phyllis says. Oh, there you go. Anyways, welcome. We are super glad that you are here this morning, where once again, we come together as who and what we are, which is an individual reflection of the divine, and then we get to create whatever experience that we want to create. So I continuously say this almost every single week that I'm up here, and that is, you're not just sitting here listening to what I'm saying, but you're actually participating in creating an experience. We are doing that collectively. Yes, you're doing that on an individual basis in your own life, but we are also doing it collectively. And when we come together as a group of people, we get to create this experience, the Sunday morning experience that goes far beyond anything that could come out of this hole right here. And it actually becomes more of an experience. Because in my own opinion, my own walk, my own spiritual path, what I've come to realize is my divinity is all about the experience of God, way beyond words. It's about a vibration, and it's about having an experience of the divine. And when all of a sudden you start to go, oh, wait a minute. So in other words, it's not in a book. It's not in listening to somebody talk, although maybe it is. I don't know. But my point is that it's about the experience. If you cannot have the experience of the divine, what's the point? What are we doing? And so that's the thing that's always tapped me on the shoulder since the time I was that big. Because when I was really little, I've told you the story before, I had the experience of what it felt like to be connected to God. I knew it. I felt it. It was real for me. And then guess what happened? This thing here got filled by a bunch of garbage that wasn't mine. It was put in there. My parents, religion, other leaders, my family, my community, everything else like that tried to tell me who and what I was, more importantly, who and what God was, and how that was supposed to look and how I was supposed to basically do God, right? So I got the manual. This is how I do God. So here's the checklist. Do God and do all this stuff, and then everything's cool. And if you don't do that, well, then you're going to spend the rest of eternity in a not cool place. It's like, what? Huh? What? That didn't make sense to me. But guess what? You're little, and I bought it. And so what happens? It goes into my subconscious mind. So now my entire life is being run off this subconscious program that tells me I'm not one, that I'm separate from God. I'm not one, and I'm separate from each and every one of you. I'm not one, and I'm separate from Mother Earth or anything else like that. And so now I'm living my life completely isolated and alone, cut off. And that's how I live my life until I didn't. And then what happened? Oh, I don't know. I walked into these doors about 45 years ago, and somebody said, you weren't born in original sin. You're not a sinner. There's no such thing as hell or the devil. And actually, you're a beautiful spark of the divine. And it was like, what? And then all of a sudden, these thoughts and these ideas started to melt. And what happened is I started to go back to where I was when I was a little kid. And I started to feel God. That's it, right there. I started to have the experience. And so what I started to do was I started to use the spiritual tools that Unity teaches, and I started to meditate, which we're going to talk about today. I started to pray, which we're going to talk about today. I started to do things so that I could create a deeper connection with God and myself. So in other words, let me get this right, Mike. You didn't take yourself out of the equation when you started doing this? No! You can't take yourself out of the equation. You have to understand something. I want you to get this because this is really super important, right? You were a decision that God wanted to have an experience, and He created you specifically so that he could have the experience of living through you. Do you get that? That's what's happening. That's why you're here, so that God can live through you and experience life through you. Whoa. That's really what's going on. That's how much you are loved. That's how important you are. That's why you matter. But we don't believe that, because certainly nothing in the newspaper is going to tell you that. Certainly nothing on the television is going to tell you that. Certainly not very many places out there are going to tell you that. In fact, they're going to tell you just the opposite. Why? Because if we actually really figured out how powerful we are, game is over. Game is over. Why? Because we can create whatever we want. And if we want to live in paradise, we can create paradise. We don't need to be stuck in all these old programs and garbage that have been jammed down our throats for years and centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries. We can actually step into our own divinity and our own power and go, we're not playing that game anymore. We're actually going to create our reality the way that we want it. And then all of a sudden you start playing this game and you're like, my God, we can really do that? It's like, well, duh. Yeah, you can really do it. Why would you think that you can't do it? And then you start really challenging the things that are up here. You really, really start to challenge them. And then all of a sudden you realize it's just absolute nonsense, most of it. And then what do we start doing? We start doing the work. We start doing the work of cleaning the stuff out, seeing where the limited beliefs are, where the programming is. We start what I call unlearning or deprogramming ourselves. And then we start learning who and what we really are again. And the best part about all of that is that all of a sudden, like, you get pretty happy and life just starts to work. And then all of a sudden you get to do some really cool things and you get to hang out with some really cool people and you get to start talking about really incredibly amazing things that are really fun. And then there you go. And so we just do things a little bit differently here. That's all. We're not here to say that we're right and anybody else is wrong. We don't do that. We're not here to say we're better than anybody else and anybody else is wrong. We're not here to do that either. But what we are here to do is to say enough is enough. I'm done. I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm taking my power back. And I'm going to quit being a victim. And I'm actually going to accept responsibility for everything that's going on in my life. And I'm going to acknowledge the fact, this is what we're going to talk about today, that I'm a vibrational being, and I'm going to acknowledge the fact that I can do things to change my vibration. And when I change my vibration, my life is going to change. Might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen a week from tomorrow, but over time, if you consistently do this stuff, your life will change. Your entire experience will change. I always say this, I am not the same guy I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Don't even talk to me about the guy I was 20 years ago. Not even close. Not even close to who and what I am today. Why? Because I did the work, and I kept at it, and I still have work to do. So it's not like this stops. It never stops. It's like the old saying goes, we're peeling an onion, right? And that's what we do. We just keep working. We keep doing. We keep finding. We start becoming aware. We start paying more attention to our internal world than our external world. And the more attention we pay to our internal world, and we start doing something about it and realizing we can clean it up, the more things start to change for us. So I'm glad you're here. I'm really, really, really super glad you're here. You make me happy. Do you know that? Each and every one of you. You really, really make me happy. For you to come here, for us to be able to get to do this on Sunday mornings, it means the world to me. So welcome. Sit back. We're going to have a great service. We're going to have great music. We're going to have great talks. We're going to have great meditations. We're going to do all the stuff that we do. And remember, remember, remember. Whatever experience that we're wanting, you're part of it. So whatever you think you'd like to have happen, maybe a thought, maybe during the meditation, let's add it to this thing and create a pretty magnificent Sunday morning. We good with that? Awesome. Hey, it's Reverend Mike here. I just wanted to stop for a moment before you get on with your day, and thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. It means the world to us, and I just wanted to let you know if there's anything that we can do to make your experience even better, please do not hesitate to reach out by going to our website. I also wanted to offer you the opportunity for us to get together and sit down so I could get to know you a little bit better and answer any questions that you have. I can either do that by either getting together in person, have a cup of coffee, or we can meet online via Zoom. If you're interested, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach me at michael@courage2thrive.com. And lastly, if you find these messages are helping you, we would be tremendously grateful if you'd consider donating to the center. The best and the easiest way to do that is simple. Just go to our website. Again, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Hope you're doing well. God bless, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.